Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to well, yeah, I will say technically I record this has been recorded on this is recorded New Year's Eve, but this is for upload this today on the first day of 2022. So say Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to now 2022 now. So after getting starting off this year with that, ended with the worst films I've seen this of 2021. Now we'll get into my top favorite movies of 2021, and I already know that that most of the ones I hated in 2021 were the big major movies that a lot of people liked. But that's just me, though. I think the ones my favorite films of this year are far better than the ones that are those overrated pieces of garbage, in my opinion. That's just me, though. So, but again, now hopefully this will not be. I made it. That was like an hour and a half. I did not mean to make it that long though, but hopefully I'm trying. By this time, this will be much more shorter. So, but let's get right into my top 10 favorite films of. Well, actually, there's a couple that are not films though, but I loved them in they're premiered in 2021. So I'll get to that though. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off at number 10 is actually a film that came out on Netflix. And I was interested because it stars Sandra Bullock, who I highly enjoy. It was one of my all-time favorite actresses. I love Sandra Bullock. I've always been a big fan of her. I was curious about it because it's a Netflix movie, though. I don't hardly watch anything on Netflix, though. But I did when I saw Army of the Dead. That was one of my worst movies that came out last year. I can say that now. Because that came out on Netflix. So. But this here was a film called The Unforgivable. And it was a really interesting role to see Sandra Bullock doing more of this type of role, right? She plays a character who just got out of prison. And she's just trying to put her life back together, but living with this, I think it was her sister, living with this adopted family, and some things that are just, like her pastor, like I said, the Unforgivable, hence the title, the Unforgivable, where, some things that her pastors some people just won't forgive her for that, right? And supporting cast members, you have Vincent D'Onofrio, which really he doesn't play a bad guy really enough in this movie. And you got John Berthal, who played Shane from The Walking Dead, and also the MCU current The Punisher. They both did fine in this movie, in this role, and they were not bad guys; they were good guys. And Sandra Bullock was the highlight of the movie, and like I said, seeing her doing more of a different role for her. It was pretty good, and I have a couple of nitpicks though, but I wish that more Vincent D'Onofrio and John Berthel were in it a bit more. But overall, I did like it though, and especially Sandra Bullock did a really good job, and I've always been a big fan of her. And for a Netflix movie, it was pretty decent. And I don't see why critics didn't like this movie. I don't see how. It has a 37% of Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't get it. Maybe it's not the type of movie to see Sandra Bullock do a more dramatic role like this. I don't see why. I don't see why critics don't like this movie. But as a big fan of Sandra Bullock, from Speed, Miss Congeniality, even The Lake House, which she also teamed up with Keanu Reeves again. I liked her in The Heat. That was the one even with Melissa McCarthy, but I liked The Heat mostly for Sandra Bullock. There was also the Net, and it was it also it was that what was that comic drama that starred Bill Pullman? What was it? While You Were Sleeping? Or was it Hope? Or was it Hope Floats? I think it was Hope Floats. It was. I've always enjoyed Sandra Bullock, great actress. The Blind Side, where she won an Oscar for. Or The Proposal, the comedy film with Ryan Reynolds. I've always been a big fan of Sandra Bullock, so she did a really good job in this movie. So probably not everybody's cup of tea though, but I liked. It was decent though. That's why it's at number 10. That's why. But The Unforgivable is worth a watch for Sandra Bullock. That's number 10. Number 9 is Courage. Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. I reviewed that earlier this year. I enjoyed it. So it was one of the. I think it's one of the better Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies because it was. Which I don't know why they didn't do this crossover long ago. Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I think this is Courage and Company's first on-screen appearance since his TV show ended. So he's been absent for a long time, and they're finally bringing him back now with Eustace and Muriel. And this is the last role. This last time that I forgot the actress's name who voiced Muriel. She died before she died before this film was released. Passed away at the time before this film was released. Because she always voiced Muriel, so this is the last time we hear her voicing the character. So may she rest in peace. Eustace. She did a good job once again voicing, but not the guy who voiced Eustace. It's not the same two. It's not either the same two guys who voiced Eustace from the show. Because during the 4 seasons of Courage, there were 2 guys who voiced Eustace. The guy who voiced Eustace here was not bad, decent voice of Eustace, but the same guy who voiced Courage came back, and he did a good job still. And I didn't see who was the main villain behind this. Who was behind the giant cicada, right? And I like the spoilers if anyone has seen this movie yet, though, for a Scooby-Doo movie. But spoilers right now. I didn't see who the real villains were, and it was actually 2 of Courage's villains. It was Katz and LeQuack. You saw all the Easter eggs of all the people that were in the shows of Courage, right? Like the chicken from outer space, or the foot fungus, or all the other creatures that were from the show. They mentioned Katz and LeQuack. They did, but they would be the main villains behind the one behind the mask. I find it funny that Fred, Daphne, Velma, they were trying to unmask them themselves because first of all, they're in the middle of nowhere. That's the name of the town in Kansas, Nowhere. They try to unmask them because they never seen people like them before, right? I found that kind of funny, and it was great. There was a scene, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, Courage working together. It was one of the better crossovers recently from the Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies. I enjoyed it. So dare I say that? Yes. It came out this year. I put it on my list. Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Straight out of nowhere. So that's number 9. Number 8 is Boss Level. Boss Level is kind of like in the vein of Groundhog Day / Edge of Tomorrow, where our lead guy, played by Frank Grillo, who has to relive this day over and over and trying to figure out why. Just like Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow. And supporting cast members, I think it was Naomi Watts was in this. I know Michelle Yeoh is in this as well. The bad guy is played by Mel Gibson, which anybody could play the bad guy though. But it was nice to see Mel Gibson, Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson together. It was nice to see that. And the guy who directed this film, who directed The Grey, with Liam Neeson. I wasn't really a fan of The Grey. And he also directed The A-Team from 2010, all starring Liam Neeson. Wasn't a big fan of that movie either, or The Grey. So I think I can take a look and see this is the best film this guy's done, because I wasn't really big on those two films. But the Boss Level was pretty decent. It was pretty good on the action. So it was pretty good. You know, like how in the beginning part, and then in the middle it slows down a bit though to establish Frank Grillo with the other characters, and then. But the action was pretty good in this Boss Level. And I enjoy Frank Grillo. I liked him in the Purge sequels, like Anarchy and Election Year. I know he was in the role of the Marvel movies of Crossbones or Brock Rumlow. And what was another film that I liked him in? I forget though, but I like Frank Grillo. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, it was. I think it was the Skyline sequel, Skyline Beyond or Beyond Skyline. It was not that great though, but he was not that bad in it. I think Frank Grillo was. So, but I liked how like sort of in the vein of Edge of Tomorrow / Groundhog's Day. Boss Level. Mel Gibson I enjoy as an actor too, so it was nice that he was playing a villain in this. Well, he has been like Expendables 3. That was sucked though, but he was not the problem. He was a good villain in that film. He was a good villain in Expendables 3, but the thing is though, it was just a lackluster sequel though. So, but Boss Level with Frank Grillo, I liked. Yeah, it was kind of it slows in the middle though, but that's like pretty much the nitpick I have. But I still like the film regardless. So Boss Level, I put number 8. Number 7 is actually I have right here, and that is of the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Yeah. When I mention stuff like this is another, like, as I mentioned when my brother, he always says I'm full of crap on everything. Like, he disagrees on my worst list and disagrees on I put on my top favorite list. I'm full of myself. I don't know what I'm talking about. I am wrong. My viewpoints are invalid. What else? I hate everything. I don't tell him how well. I already mentioned this before in my top worst videos. I'll explain how we're always butting heads on things like this, but because he mentions that this film was not good. How did he know? He didn't even see this movie before. Although I did say to him, it's not as good as the first one, but Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson, they still have that same chemistry they had with each other, the fun chemistry they had, just insulting each other and stuff like that. They still work well together. Salma Hayek, she was used better here than in the freaking Eternals movie. In Eternals, she was wasted in that. Here, I thought I liked her much better here, and she has more of a bigger role than she did in the first movie. And I thought she still handled herself pretty good. Antonio Banderas as the villain. Nice to see Antonio Banderas. It's the same thing like with Mel Gibson in Boss Level. Like, anybody can play that villain, though, but at least it was Antonio Banderas. It was nice to see him in there. Morgan Freeman. There he is right there. Morgan Freeman. It's nice to see him in there along. I think this is the first film that he stars along with Samuel L. Jackson, Because you haven't really seen a film where the two of these, two big league A-list actors started a film like this together. I don't think I can name I don't think there was a film that where Morgan Freeman and Samuel L. Jackson starred together. I don't think so. So it's nice to see those two together in this movie. And Morgan Freeman, always nice to see Morgan Freeman, a great actor. And and the little thing at the end of the movie, but I guess I'll review this some other time though. But The Hitman's Wife, even though the action is decent though, but it's not a bit below than the first movie though. But I still enjoy this film, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I'm sorry, and I like this better than also another Netflix movie, which this didn't even make my list anywhere. But I didn't even bother though. I saw a little bit. My dad was watching on Netflix. I only saw just a little bit of the beginning of it. It wasn't that interesting to me. But a lot of people like the film, and that is a Red Notice. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. I saw this. I saw like about 20 minutes of the movie. I was not interested in it, you know. But if you talk about Ryan Reynolds, he played with. People say ever since he played Deadpool, you know, the roles he's been getting afterwards, you say he's kind of playing like the same type of character like Deadpool, though. I don't see it in his character of Michael in the Hitman movies, you know, the first movie and in the second film. I don't see that. He's kind of like playing that in Red Notice, in which this film costs a whole lot less than what Red Notice did. Red Notice for some reason cost $200 million. Way bigger budget than this movie did. So, but I still like the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I still had some fun with. Like I said, the first one was still better, but I still think it's a pretty decent sequel. So that was number 7. Number 7. Number 6. Number 6. Hey, when I said before I was tired of superhero movies, especially the Marvel movies. Well, guess what? A superhero film I thought was better than all of those Marvel movies. The Suicide Squad. Yes, a DC movie I liked that is better than any of the Marvel movies that came out in 2021. I said it. Better than Shang-Chi, which that's another film I did not like in 2021. I didn't even mention that movie, though, but that would have been a dishonorable mention anyway. Better than Shang-Chi, better than Black Widow, better than Eternals, and dare I say this, if people get offended, though, better than Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm sorry. I had more fun with this, and especially, you know, it also was a shock for me, it says, when the film that has stars John Cena, I thought he was pretty decent in this movie, despite the fact, you know, the joke, Starfish is not saying for butthole, or him standing in his freaking tighty-whitey underwears. Other than that, though, I thought he was decent in this movie, because I liked how he was, constantly fighting with Idris Elba, you know, especially that one scene that they're killing people to see who is better at killing more people than the other. And him just bickering and arguing, you know. So, yeah, it's a shock for me that I say that John Cena was decent in this film. Wow, first time for me to say that. But do I say that John Cena still needs his TV show on The Peacemaker? No, He doesn't need his own TV show to me. But thing is, though, other than that, though, I still like the characters. King Shark, voiced by Sylvester Stallone, so that's the best thing he's done in quite some time. Sad to say, you know, or fake mustache. That's the worst fake mustache I've ever seen. Bird, friend. Sylvester Stallone did a good job voicing King Shark, and I like King Shark. Yeah, he's treated as more of a dim-witted dummy, right, in this. I know the comics he's more smarter than that, though, but I like the design of King Shark. I think it was pretty cool looking. He got some moments. I wish he fought more of the big starfish villain at the end, though, but other than that, though, I still like King Shark, or his name is Nanaue. Polka Dot Man, played by David, I forgot to pronounce his last name. He appeared in the 2 Ant-Man movies. But as Polka Dot Man, I thought it was fun for his character. I like the way he looked, you know, like his costume, like more adaptation from the comic. But Like polka dots growing on him, and he has to spit him out. Otherwise, he's gonna It's gonna cover all over himself. Or the funny thing, dealing with he sees everybody as his mom. That was kind of weird. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She couldn't stand on her own solo film, but as a supporting character, I still didn't mind her as Harley Quinn in this movie. Idris Elba as Bloodsport, I enjoyed. I'm a fan of Idris Elba as an actor. He was fun. He was fun in this role, especially when he was bickering with John Cena. How am I supposed to... You're the leader. You're supposed to be decisive, and I say you should eat a big bag of dicks. Viola Davis as coming back as Amanda Waller, the woman that you hate in the first Suicide Squad. At least she gets knocked out at the finale, which yes, because she's a bitch of a character that you hate. And I thought also was funny, especially and it's R-rated. It's much more bloodier than the first Suicide Squad, which that was PG-13. The opening where all the villains were getting killed off at the beach, like Michael Rooker's character, even Jai Courtney come back as Captain Boomerang. How it was just funny how it ends, like how they all get killed like that, and like the song was playing like you heard in the end credits of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake. I was like, oh wait a minute, is it the song they played at the end of Dawn of the Dead remake? Yeah, they did. And James Gunn did a really good job. When he goes from the Guardians of the Galaxy, to directing a DC film, like, do better than the first Suicide Squad, he did a good job. When you put him in DC in the hands of him, and DC in his hands, he does a good job, So yeah, you see, I'm a DC hater. I liked Shazam. I liked Joker from 2019 with Joaquin Phoenix, and I liked this movie. So I'm not particularly a hater of DC. I think this is much better than Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. I'm sorry. People like that 4-hour movie baloney, fine. But I think it's a lot better and much more fun than Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Much more funnier, and I like the characters were fun as well. I enjoy the Suicide Squad better than the first one. Miles better. The characters I liked. It definitely and it's R-rated, which that's the thing where they tame and neutered the Venom. Let there be carnage, which they made Carnage an R-rated character. They neutered him. Here, this is R-rated and it's much more bloodier. I mean, you got King Shark biting someone's head off, or eating someone whole. And Idris Elba and John Cena, there's just in that one scene, they're just killing people in so many ways, electrocuting them, shooting them in the head, and cutting one person in half or whatever. And it was much more fun in this movie. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the Suicide Squad. So yeah, better than any of the Marvel films that came out in 2021. And one of the better DC films I've seen. So you say I'm a DC hater. Well, here's a DC film that I liked. Like I said, I enjoy the Suicide Squad. James Gunn did a really good job. So yeah, the Suicide Squad. Number 6. No, that was number 6. Number 5. And here's where I'm getting a little more cheap things like I did last year. Also, this time it's not the number 1 though. But number 5 is the first half of the second season of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. It was I know, since I'm a big fan of Inuyasha, why is this top 5 not number 1? Well, the thing is though, I mentioned my other top 3 films plenty of times earlier this year, but the first half, it was pretty good, especially how the first half ended with Zero fully understanding her character now, and how she made a peace at the end. I enjoyed it. A lot of episodes have been picking up, and I've been enjoying them. especially with Toa, ever since Setsuna got brought back from the dead from dying at the end of the first season. Toa getting her new flute sword, you could say, the Zenzaki, I think it was called. And the potential of Moroha, when she was flying by, she saw her parents for the first time. I enjoyed that. Can't wait for the second half, where I did my review in that trailer, the new trailer coming out, that came out on Christmas Day, where she finally held her dad in her holding her dad in his arms. Can't wait to see that. But, and Rin finally, her curse was lifted, finally out of the tree, and she's back to being normal. It's just Shomaru holding her in his arms, smirking for pretty much for the first time, if ever. That was really great to see, and especially with Zero, her whole plan, what she did with Toa, exposing her emotions and taunting her, making her full demon, trying to kill her, while trying to fill her with regret and for her sins. If you kill Zero, it ended up killing her mother, Rin, trying to fill her with that with scars, scarring her for life. It was really picking up, and I reviewed my episodes of the first half of the second season. Now we got the last half to go, which comes out on the next weekend on the 8th, which I'm looking forward to seeing. So, but this is the first half of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon season 2. I enjoyed. It was especially when it ended this year right here, the first half, towards the end of the first half, it was really starting to pick up. I was really getting excited about it. One was getting better after the other. A couple of the moments I thought was pretty funny as well, especially with Moroha. But yeah. And Riku was showing more Riku as being a badass again. I enjoyed that. Rion was becoming a character I've been liking. Kirimaru's daughter. So, and I enjoyed the opening theme of Reborn by News, who did Burn for the second outro of the first season, and for the including the outro as well. I like that music for the outro too. So I can't wait to see how the new intro and outro would be for the second half, right? So yeah, the first half of Yashahime season 2, I enjoyed. Now, number 4, which be another anime, which I was debating which one I thought was better, but I had to go with my gut because I did my whole review of this whole season, and I just say it was better and better and better. I kept saying it in every episode. It was like a perfect anime, a flawless anime that I just absolutely loved. I enjoyed it every moment. It was this is one of the best animes I've seen in a while, a real gem, and that is of The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. Loved The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. I loved the characters. I loved the animation. A lot of the animation was pretty good. Especially and the story it told. It told away a little bit of a devil's a part-timer, and especially the character of Jahy from being the second in command of the Dark Realm. When the magical girl destroyed the manga crystal, she lost her powers, ending up being in the body of a little girl. And although she could still become her real self while working at this pub by the manager and trying to pay her rent with the landlady, living in this teensy apartment, while her servant was rich and finding more manga crystals, Druji, while she enjoyed pain and torture and suffering and being insulted by Jahy, loving every second of it. I enjoyed it, and especially and all other characters like Kokoro, the little girl that she makes, the first real friend she makes. Sawa was fun too, constantly making mistakes, trying to defeat Jahy, but she's just being an idiot as well. The Dark Lord, I enjoyed her, especially when at the end when her sister comes in. A lot of characters I enjoyed, but Jahy herself was the prime focus, and I enjoyed her growth in this whole series. From being a terrible demon, always belittling everyone, being above them, everyone envying her, saying she's great, praising her, until when she came into the human world because she fell so much, being broke, being almost pretty much powerless. And throughout the whole series, how she progresses, she's become more human, living in this world, the human world. She's become more human and being more or less the person that she used to be. It was such a great lot of character growth for Jahy, and I loved it. She realized, because she's made a friend, like in Kokoro, and even eventually befriending the magical girl who's trying to get the crystals by bearing all this misfortune, but ultimately being her friend. And I wish that kind of makes light of it, made Druji jealous as well. But and the whole thing, why the whole Dark Realm was destroyed because of a misunderstanding between the Dark Lord and her sister. Her sister, she wanted her sister was to pay more attention to her, and ultimately leading the Dark Realm, the Mono Crystal, being destroyed because the first magical girl was an idiot. She was too strong. That's why she destroyed it. So yeah, it was nothing but a misunderstanding. So, and the manager, her liking the manager, and eventually the landlord likes her, the manager being more of a mother figure to her, and the landlady being more of a big sister to her. So she's and I knew she's going to stay in the human world, And if there was a second season, I would love for a second season. I would love to see more of the adaptation. And just like she gets to have an adult life, having her love working at her job with the landlady and her boss manager, her boss, and at the same time she can live in the body of the little girl, having a childhood with Kokoro. And I enjoyed it. So yeah, Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. I loved it. It was like a perfect anime I've seen in a long time. It had a bit of everything. Dramatic moments, heartfelt moments, charm, character development, story. It was like basically a perfect anime for me. So I loved The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. I reviewed the whole series. You can go back to them. Go on my playlist from the very beginning. So that's number 4. Number 3, I don't have the DVD. I wish I had, though, but I reviewed this not that long ago. Nobody. From the director of Hardcore Henry, was nice to see that he got another job at this, and he did a really great job with Nobody. It's in the vein of John Wick, which I enjoyed. And I would like to see more movies that are more in the vein of John Wick. Bob Odenkirk as... which I know like a while back he had a heart attack or something. I'm glad he's doing well. I am. Even though I'm not a big fan of Better Call Saul though, but here he did a really great job in Nobody. And he kicked ass. Especially on the fight on the bus. I'm gonna fuck you up. Or the moment where he was punching the brick wall because he misunderstood about those people that originally robbed their house. And how he killed the Russian bad guy with the claymore, that was pretty creative. Christopher Lloyd, he was a major surprise in this movie. Even Christopher Lloyd got to kick ass, which that was really great to see. I enjoyed Christopher Lloyd. RZA wasn't really big on him, and other things though, but here he was fine. He's Bob Odenkirk's half brother. He's, sniping. He also did fine in this role. Connie Nelson, who plays Bob Odenkirk's wife. And I enjoy the action. I really enjoyed it. It's like in the vein of John Wick. And the guy who directed Hardcore Henry did a really great job. And some of the songs that were playing in this movie, like Heartbreaker, Pat Benatar's Heartbreaker, or Lee Armstrong, not Lee Armstrong, but what was the guy's name who sang What a Wonderful World? And some of the humor I thought was pretty funny. Like with that one guy who got crushed between the car and Bob Odenkirk's trying to tell him about how him being an auditor, but midway through his story, the guy's dead already. That was pretty funny. So yeah, Nobody, I loved. I enjoyed it. Well, another great action film I loved. If they make more films in the vein like this, like John Wick, I would like to see more. I do. I enjoyed Nobody. Loved it. Bob Odenkirk did a great job. He kicked ass. Christopher Lloyd was a surprise to see him. He even got to kick some ass too, which that was great. And the guy who directed Hardcore Henry did a really good job. And I like to see him get more movie choices. More movie jobs, please. Because I think Hardcore Henry is very underrated. But yeah, that's number 3. Number 2, I was debating which these ones was number 1, number 2, because I love both of these movies. I thought they're very inventive and creative. Although the number 2, so I decided, but it was very hard to me, but I chose to pick this one as number 2. Oh, creative though, even though it's kind of like influenced by Five Nights at Freddy's though, and I reviewed this. Number 2, Willy's Wonderland. I love this film, despite the 2 nitpicks like ease down on the lens flares, because it just reminds me of the 2012 remake of Total Recall, or it's called Lens Flares the movie. Ease up on the lens flares and a little bit on the shaky cam, please. That's about it though. I mean, like, yeah, the other human characters besides Nick Cage, the other characters, like the one guy who originally he wanted to leave, but also does 180. He wants to stay and turn to have sex with that one girl. That's like a total 180. The rest of those teen characters were not much though, but that's about it though. But Nicolas Cage, he, like Bob Odenkirk in Nobody, he kicked ass in this movie. And I thought it was kind of a little bit refreshing, unique that he never spoke in this movie. He never says one word. I thought that kind of made it a little more refreshing, unique. And he just kicked these animatronic robots' asses. You know, Artie the Alligator, Gus Gorilla, Ozzy the Ostrich. Especially when it was Ozzy Ostrich, when he just pecked him on the cheek, and it was like this. And he breaks that mop handle in half, and then the ostrich's eyes goes wide like this. Like, oh shit. Goes and kicks that ostrich's ass. Nighty Night, Sarah Siren, and Nicolas Cage did a great job. And Nicolas Cage should do more movies like this, like he did in Mandy. Mandy I enjoyed too as well. Nicolas Cage needs to do more movies like these. And the songs I enjoyed. You know, the main Willy's Wonderland jingle. Hey kids, do you know what time it is? It's birthday time. It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party, everyone. Or I really love the song Willy's Wonderland. That when the scene when Nicolas Cage was playing the pinball machine, and then the song was playing. At Willy's Wonderland, I'm taking you to Willy's Wonderland. And the animatronic robots were pretty much almost 100% practical. Look, so there was that one scene. There was that one scene with Sarah Siren where the lead girl was in this one room, and Sarah Siren was like climbing up the walls and stuff like that. That's the bit of CGI though. But for the most part, all the animatronics were pretty much practical effects. I enjoyed that. And Nicolas Cage kicked ass, you know, like twisting Kama Chameleon's head around, or especially with the song choice of head, shoulders, knees, and toes, country music style. And with his hands tied behind his back, he just is kicking the chameleon and the Sarah Siren's ass, you know. Even with his hands tied. I love Willy's Wonderland. I've already reviewed this, and also Freebird by Leonard Skinner. And I didn't mention that. I mentioned that song when I reviewed that. When it was leaving, Freebird played by Leonard Skinner. That song was used better here at the end than at the end of Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects. I didn't say that in my review. I forgot about it though, but I'll say it right here. Freebird played better here at the end of this movie when Nicolas Cage surprised the two guys, the owner you could say, and the other guy who told his truck, right? They were surprised. They were about to piss themselves when they saw Nicolas Cage alive. You know, it's like, oh shit, he's alive. You know, I like that. And you have Freebird playing, and when he takes the girl with him. That song was handled better here at the end of this than at the end of Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects. So yeah, I love Willy's Wonderland. It was a really great, fun movie. A little bit of creative, take it like in the vein of Five Nights at Freddy's, but it was very fun to watch. I loved it. So yeah, number 2, Willy's Wonderland. Movie. Like I said, my list, what Taylor's thinking, he thinks once again, I'm full of shit. But you know what? I'm not taking what I think back. So, but number 1, Malignant. I love this film. Well directed by James Wong, the director of the first Saw, The Conjuring, Insidious, Death Sentence, Dead Silence. Yes, even Furious 7 and Aquaman. But I love Malignant. I think this is more of a... The way that, especially the twist, I think this is more of an original idea or creative or unique than most of the films nowadays, sad to say. Even James Wan, he did a great job with the film. He even said in an interview that he was making more of an 80s movie, which I mentioned before. I definitely see that. Or 90s. 80s or 90s movie. I can definitely see that. And he did, and he pulled it off really well. I enjoyed the camera angles, of the way it's maneuvered. Like, there was an overhead shot of the house when, who's the lead? Annabelle Wallace, when she's moving to one room, and the camera is, like, through point of view to the ceiling. I like that. The score was fantastic in this movie. I love the score in this by Joseph Bissahara. Especially the opening theme. I know it's not by him though, but it's done by someone else though. But I like the opening during the credits. The twist I did not see coming. I thought it was really creative on the twist. It was not, and the thing is though, it was not a typical ghost movie or a demon movie, spirit, whatever, or paranormal movie. It was not none of that. And the twist I did not see coming. It's really surprised me. I had a great theater experience. I saw this in the theater. And apparently no one went to see it because I was the only one in the theater. I shit you not. So basically, I got my own private movie showing of this movie. So that even made it more special to me. Sad to say, no one went to see this because this film bombed. Sadly, this didn't deserve it though. But the thing is, no one was in the movie but me, in the movie theater but me. So I got my own private showing of this movie. That kind of made it more special to me. And when I saw the twist, which I already reviewed this at the beginning of October, and I mentioned the twist, but if anyone hasn't seen this movie yet still, please, spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, please, stop it right here, and then I'm getting into spoilers right now, okay? Even when I did my review, I gave a spoiler warning at the beginning of it, so please. If you still haven't seen Malignant, please check it out and avoid my review of that movie and this part right here. Spoilers, right now. The twist I did not see coming. When the whole time was what's happening to our character of Madison. Find out what her real name is, of Emily May. Thing is though, what was going on with her, because she has a... It's not a tumor. It's a... What was the name of that part? A parasitic twin. You mean it's kind of say it was like a tumor, but it was like when twins were not separated from the womb, as the doctor said, they're conjoined at the spine and brain. So, basically it's Gabriel, who's basically attached to her backside. I did not see that coming, and the twist, and especially the third act of the police station, was insane. Since the first Terminator or Maniac Cop 2. It was a completely insane sequence. Completely insane. And I guess James Wan did learn a thing or two from Furious 7 or Aquaman, I guess, when he's dealing with action scenes. Especially in the act in the police station. So I guess he learned a thing or two, I guess, from those two action movies. But I love that. That was a really insane scene. And... especially how Gabriel could take control of her body. This is back there. He working this way, so it makes our character walking backwards. And the whole time, also when the woman he kidnapped earlier, And also the twist that she was in her house the whole time. I love this movie. My brother calls me out on this. He calls bullshit on for thinking this is my favorite film this year. He calls bullshit on both my worst and best list. He calls bullshit on everything I say. He does. I hate everything. Yada yada yada. I'm sorry. I'm not taking it back. I don't take back what I feel about what's best and what's worst for me of movies. He may think I'm full, but my dad said this. My dad said it like this. I just see movies differently than he does. So yeah, I see movies differently. I do. So yeah, I love *Malignant*. James Wan did a really great job. I think this is the guy's best movie. Yeah. So I reviewed *Malignant* already, so go check out my review. Like I said, spoiler if you haven't seen the movie yet. So yeah, number 1, *Malignant*. So that's it. So that's my top 10 favorite films of this year. So number 10, going back, *The Unforgivable* with Sandra Bullock. Number 9, *Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog*. Number 8, *Boss Level*. Number 7, *The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard*. Number 6, *The Suicide Squad*. Number 5, the first half of Yashahime Princess Half Demon Season 2, the first half of it. Number 4, *The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated*. Number 3, *Nobody*. Number 2, *Willy's Wonderland*. And number 1, *Malignant*. Those are my top favorite anime, yes, of 2021. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of them. And like I said, it's better than any of the overrated movies I've seen that I gave on my worst list. It's better than all of them. Like I said, you disagree with me. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. I don't change your opinion. I'm not here to change your opinion. I only have my opinion. And in my opinion, I like these movies are better than the other ones on my worst list. I'm sorry. We agree to disagree. That's all there is. So yeah, this is my favorite. This is my top favorite films of top 10 of 2021. Hopefully we'll do better again this year. Hopefully. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos to come this year. And by the time the next video that comes up, I'll probably have this shaved off now. Because I said probably because at the start of this year I'm going to shave this off here. So expect to be next clean face again. So yeah. So that's how I get rid of this beard now. You know, new year, new face again. So expect to see another clean face again. But anyway, that's it. In my opinion, these are my favorite films of this year, including the 2 animes. Yes, and so this is my list. I can put whatever I want. I can cheat a little bit. So, but thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next more videos and more movie reviews to come. And we'll see y'all later for more coming this year of 2022. Later.